everybody, welcome into the Form and Cup Week. Officially starts this weekend. We head down to Riccarton where the feature is the 2000 Guineas. It's also Championship Day at Flemington. So to talk about all of the key races this weekend, well, we've got Leith Innes and hot off the plane from Flemington, Aidan Rodley. And this is what's coming up. We'll start with the main feature, the 2000 Guineas preview. Then we check out the other two features on the program, the Metropolitan and the Pegasus. Our racetrack is as usual. Our other domestic meeting on Saturday is Te Rapa, and their feature is the listed Legacy Lodge Sprint. Flemington, as I mentioned, Champions Day, so much to go through there. And our best bets, we'll be hoping to find you more of those this weekend. Our feature is down at Riccarton. We officially start Cup Week. So Aidan, as I say hello to you, weather and track-wise, what are we getting for the start of Cup Week?
Yeah, it looks to be really good weather coming through from Christchurch for Cup Day, and this is what the hopes are for how it's going to look. With fresh northerlies, a high of 26 degrees. The track is just rain affected at this point as a soft 7, but with the weather that's coming, Pip, hopefully a-okay.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the market. It is race number 10 on the program, and it's 11 race card. As we take a look, Savaglee, favourite, very short, $1.55. Love Poem, $5.50. He's Lucid at $8, and Kiwi Skyhawk at $8. Leith, as far as the speed goes, who do you see setting up the pace?
Pip, when Stars Alliance had the blinkers taken off, so they put a shadow roll on, but it probably lacks a little bit of speed, this race. You'd think he'd be the natural leader in the race, where it's so naive, can go forward. Savaglee will probably just get a nice run in the 1-1. Love Poem will be just behind the speed. And then you got Customise and Domain Ace will probably just drop out the back. And look, being a small field of 8, I can't see them going overly hard. Okay, well, let's take you back to one of the key lead-in races, the Sartin. And Aidan Savaglee, well, he just keeps making every winning post a winner.
Doesn't he? He just keeps on stepping up. He's won 5 of 11 now. And who would have thought he would have got to this race as such a short-priced favourite? And that is really just hats off to the job that Pam Gerard and her team have done in getting this horse to the right place. Has been well ridden, positively ridden by Sam Spratt the whole way through, but Leith, a high-priced horse who could be about to really cement himself as a stallion prospect.
Yeah, certainly. Look, they bought him for $400,000 out of Karaka Book 1, and look, his racing manners from 2-year-old to a 3-year-old, he's just improved. He used to over-race in his 2-year-old races, and Sam's been teaching him to settle. Like, he doesn't have to lead now. He's nice and relaxed, and he's going to see out a mile at Riccarton being only 8 runners. There was that little question mark, beginning of the season. Could he get a mile? But the way he's racing, he's definitely going to get that mile at Riccarton for sure.
So Naive has been finding the line nicely each time. I think he's a 1600 metre and beyond horse. What are you thinking of him? Yeah,
look, he's been really good. His last 3 runs have been awesome. You would think the big roomy track at Riccarton's really going to suit him, and look, I have him mapped to sort of just probably sit outside the leader. He's going well. I know the Grant Coxley team, they're really happy with him as well.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, what about the filly in the race? Let's take you back to the Soliloquy, where she finishes 3rd, obviously in behind Alabama Lass, and she was really hitting the line strong here, Leith, suggesting the mile should suit.
You'd think so. Look, they obviously put the late nom in. Look, being a field of 8 runners, there's a big chance that she might back up to the last day as well in the 1000 Guineas. There hasn't been a filly win the 2000 Guineas since 2009, Pip, and that was Katie Lee. So she's against it a little bit, but geez, I reckon she's going to run out a really strong mile.
It's just how this form, the Soliloquy form, correlates into up against the boys' races, the Sartins and company. But geez, she's done nothing wrong. She was stakes placed in her first 3 runs as a 2-year-old, came back with a really soft kill maiden win at Te Rapa, and then that run and behind, the key players basically in the 1000 Guineas. So real respect around Love Poem here. Let's take you back to the Watercree Stakes and see here he's Lucid, who did relish the heavy track conditions, but also, maybe more telling, he relished the 1600 metres. So he was really good. Kiwi Skyhawk didn't give it away any which way, and there's when Stars Align just basically fading in the heavy conditions after maybe doing a little bit too much work. He's a nice horse, this Leith. Seeing him on the day, he looked outstanding.
Yeah, what a way to win your first maiden race. Look, he's always shown a lot. I know the Myers camp have had him in a really... Look, he's been in the deep end all his life, and to come out and win that race like he did, he looked comfortable on that heavy track. I'm certain that he's not going to get the same conditions this week, but he's got a great draw in barrier 1 as well, so it gives Lily a few options as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the one thing about him, just the better track. But I think he's a 1,600 metre and beyond horse as well. So that's going to be his... and obviously Kiwi Skyhawk will probably benefit from better track conditions. However, I'm going to the favourite, just defaulting to Savaglee. Everything's gone exactly to plan for the preparation. So why not in the 2,000 guineas, Leith? How about you?
Yeah, certainly he's a bit short at $1.55, but look, the past 6 winners of the Hawke's Bay Guineas have come out of, have won the 2,000 guineas. You know, your Aegon, Sacred Falls, Turn the Ace. It's a good form race, and I think he's going to be hard to beat this week.
Yeah, it certainly is. So if you want to take the short priced around him, well, both Aidan and Letha with Savaglee in the 2,000 guineas, you can catch all the action trackside premiere at 4:45. Let's continue on with our Riccarton preview, and this time we're going to take a look at race number 6. Now this is the Pegasus Stakes, and our favourite is the Radiant One, resuming at $4.20. Lincoln's Cruise at $6 on that second line, and then you've got 2 of them sitting there at $6.50. Now let's go back to last year's Pegasus, where obviously Lincoln's Cruise finishes second here, Leith, the Radiant One third. Can you see these 2 in the finish again this year?
Yeah, I certainly can, Pip. I think both of them are good chances, you know, that they're going to appreciate a good 4 track. Look, the Radiant One, she's an underrated horse. Look, obviously she had 53.5 kilos, or 53 last year in the race, and she's gone up to that 56. But she's got a better draw in barrier 4, where she can just sort of sit just behind what looks like is going to be a good, strong tempo. And look, I think she's the one they probably all have to beat in the race.
One thing about her, she just doesn't have a great fresh record. She's never won in 4 starts fresh up in the past. So that's got to be some sort of concern. But this isn't a deep Pegasus by any stretch. So, yeah, real respect around last year's form. Even Lincoln's Cruise, who just loves getting down to Riccarton and playing the game down there. Couple want to have a look here at Platinum Tack. Geez, this horse is really promising. Has won 4 of 7 so far, and geez, I've been taken by the progression of this horse. I thought this was a sweet spot for Pegasus for this runner. Yeah,
we've seen Lisa Latta sort of win this race in the past as well, and look, a good form race as well. Obviously, Shoes came out and won last week at Tauranga. She gets in for 53 kilos. Kelly Myers on is a big plus as well. Yeah,
certainly is. Well, what about Illicit Dreams? Let's go back to her, finishing 4th last time out, of course, for Kenny Ray. Sam Spratt danced the riding. What did you make of this performance, Aidan?
Yeah, pretty good. Horse going well. We'll also see Our Echo, who's a horse who's been good enough to be winning a lightning handicap at Trentham. So, yeah, the form's okay. Obviously, really good run from Third Decree out wider in the pink cap there to be winning. Did it really nicely. But Illicit Dreams, there was enough in this performance. Just got squeezed up a little bit at that point too, Leith.
Yeah, she probably may have run second without that check as well. Obviously, she's been stable down there at the Kenny Ray stable down there for quite a while as well. So, look, she's got good track record at Riccarton. 1,000 metres should suit her as well.
And another mare bringing in really good form is this one, Tiki, a last start winner. That was at Otago over the rating 75, but it was a really good 1,200 metre win. Aidan, can you see it stepping up here into a Pegasus?
Oh, I thought this was really impressive, and I was sort of wanting to find a place for Tiki, but you know, this is down in quality. But in saying that, it's not an overly strong Pegasus. Nice enough run from Amber Echo as well, but I'm not so sure. I'm a little bit dubious on the form, to be honest, Lee.
Yeah, look, never had a race at Riccarton as well. It's been really well placed down there. It's won, you know, 4 races from 10 starts in 2 seconds. So, look, a very honest horse, but like you said, it's the biggest test to date.
My top selection's having his biggest test as well. That's Platinum Attack. Wide draw, no real concern down the chute at Riccarton. just really taken by what we've seen from this horse in the progression so far, and I think ready to step up to stakes company, Leith.
Yeah, I'm on the Radiant one. Tina Kominiagi sits. She's had 16 rides on the horse for 4 wins and 6 placings. So I just think the better draw this year, barrier 4, she'll posse just behind a good even tempo and hit the line, just be a little bit better than last year.
Okay, there you go. So the Radiant one for Leith, and Aidan is with Lisa Ladder's team, and that was the Pegasus Stakes. Now let's move on to race number 8. This is the Metropolitan. When Nest Egg is our favourite, $3.60. Beavertown Boy at $5. Mezzabine at $5.50, and then you've got Prince Albion, LJ, both in that single figures. So quite an open affair. Let's take you back again to last year's running of the Metropolitan. Nest Egg wins that. You've got LJ third and a host of others in behind. Who stands out for you, Leith, in this one?
Yeah, I think Nest Egg. He's been beautifully placed. He's had a few runs in this time. He was good at Elizelia's last 2, and look, they've really set him for this race. He gets in with 53.5 kilos, and he won this race last year with 53 kilos. So, look, I think it's a pretty good training effort by Stephen Marsh, and I think he's probably going better than he was last year, Aidan.
Okay, it's interesting. He was into this race 6th up last year. He's already a winner 3rd up for this preparation, which is a lot better than last year. So he's into this one 4th up this year. I'm just not so sure. That last start run's really dented my confidence on him. I was taken by what he did the start before, but geez, he regressed last time out, even though I guess he wasn't, really asked the full questions late in that race. Good race, though, with the likes of LJ and things, to just be showing the quality. This was some win, Beavertown Boy, from where he came from. This was an excellent effort. It's only a quick back-up, Leith, but I was taken by this win. It was a win of one with, bigger things to come, but with real authority.
Yeah, we see the Adrian Bull. He targets these races at Riccarton as well. So, look, he was strong late, and he won with a soft Jonathan Riddell ride as well. And obviously he gets back down to that 53 kilos this week. Kelly Myers on, so Kelly's got a really good strike rate with the Adrian Bull stable as well.
And another one that gets in really lightly at the weights, 53 kilos, is Mezzabine. Let's take you back to the last start. 2nd, and look, this was eye-catching as well, Aidan, because had to try and duck and weave through runners, but once got clear air, hit the line strong.
Yeah, she's going to be a lot better suited this preparation. We saw her in that Nest Egg Metropolitan from last year, finishing 6th in that race. This is a really good run in the Waverley Cup, and only narrowly goes under. A lot to like from her, especially at the weights, Lee.
Yeah, certainly the Craig Grill's booking is a big plus as well. 53 kilos. She's yet to place it, Christchurch. She's had 4 attempts there, but I just think there's a little bit of a timing about her, and definitely a sort of a top 4 play.
And then we're timing about runners, but what about LJ? He's coming into this off the back of 2 wins, including the Southeast Spring Classic. Arguably, I suppose the track conditions did play into his hands this day, Aidan, and he's got to carry the top weight.
Oh, I think he goes on anything. I do think he's probably even more potent on rain-affected tracks, but he's just a class horse. He's a really, really good horse. I'd love to see him getting to Australia one day and taking on their best, because I think he's well up to that quality. He did relish conditions here and he was really good. And behind him, Mayor of Norwood, Star of Bella. And one horse I just don't want to be throwing away is Fierce Flight, because he just puts in bad ones on wet tracks, and he just might surprise. He's run 2nd in a Wellington Cup. Leith, LJ, he's one of those enigmas, but he's got the quality.
Yeah, well, he's won his last 3 from 4 starts, and obviously they've set him for the New Zealand Cup. He gets in there, maximum top weight of 60 kilos, so I'm willing to watch him this week, but I'll definitely have him on my top of the ticket next week in New Zealand Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. No handicap, of course, Metropolitan into the New Zealand Cup, so they can win it without getting penalised. So you can bet with confidence into this race. For mine, though, I'm going to what I saw on the eye last time from Beavertown Boy. Gets down to that 53 kilograms. Very, very nice win. It was just clinical, and I thought a superb trial for the Metropolitan. Leith, who'd you have on top?
Yeah, it's certainly one of those races you want to watch going into the New Zealand Cup next week. But I just like Nest Egg, 53.5 kilos. The best thing for me, the blinkers back on this week.
And you mentioned the New Zealand Cup, so let's take a look at that futures market, because some of these definitely could move in the market depending what happens in the Metro. You've got Nest Egg at the favouritism at $4. Is there any value in there? I mean, LJ's still sitting at $8, Aidan. That's great money for the form that he's in.
Yeah, he's in really good form, and obviously he's a past New Zealand Cup winner as well, so yeah, $8 does seem to have a little bit of upside. Kenny Rock's an interesting runner too. There at $8 won't go around on the first day.
Chance was really good at Melbourne Cup Day as well. Didn't have a lot of luck in the straight, so he's one that they've set for the race, and you think Sporting Chance is great chance over 2 miles.
And all of that action from Riccarton gets underway 11:35 a.m. on your big Saturday. All right, time for some more race trackers as usual. Leith, we start with you. Who's your tracker this week?
Look, I'm going to take you back to Melbourne Cup Day on Tuesday, the Wait for Age Balmerino Stakes out of Vostok. Look, he was having his third run back straight into a 2,000 metre race at Wait for Age, and there was just a little bit to like about him. You don't quite see there, but at the 600 metres, he was travelling really well in the race, and I know the Chad Ormsby team, they've got the Counties Cup in the back of their mind, and look, he's going to get into the Counties Cup with 53 kilos, and I think he's up to winning a race like the Counties Cup or definitely the Waikato Cup.
He's already a Group 3 winner from last preparation, so real respect. Have a look at this horse, Sans Dude. This was the horse that the Te Akau team, Mark Walker and Ben Gleeson, were most happy with going into to Derby Day, but just ran up backsides the whole way. Spoke to racing manager Reece Trumper this morning, and they will go to the Group 3 Thoroughbred Club Stakes at Caulfield on the 16th of November. She just had no luck, and I'd be forgiving of her, Pip.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got Bevan's a race tracker for you as well. Al Jumala. Now, this is at Trentham where he had absolutely no luck. Had to get to the outside fence. According to Bevan, he should have won, and he'll be back at Trentham next week over the mile. So follow Al Jumala out of this. As you can see, just nowhere really for him to go up the home straight. And I'm going to take you to a runner that was absolutely flashing late, and that is Tanganyika here. For the Wexford barn, you can see he got right back, was dead last coming into the home straight, had the best closing sectionals right across the board, and a strong form race out of Tauranga. So one to follow goes to Ellerslie on the 30th of this month, so follow that out of that run. Here's a summary for you. Out of stock for Leith, Sans Dude for Aidan, Al Jumala for Bevan, and I'm with Tanganyika. Make sure you note them down and put them in your black book. Our second domestic meeting on Saturday is out of Te Rapa. Now, Leith, we've had a bit of good weather, some bad weather there recently. What are we getting this time?
Yeah, obviously the track at Te Rapa's had a full averti drain right over the entire course. So, look, they had 14 horses work over the track last Friday, and it got the tick of approval by the jockeys. So, look, the rail's out 6 metres. There's partly cloudy, but I think we're going to get back to sort of a good 4-come race day. Look, the weather's beautiful from now to Saturday.
That's what we want to hear as we take a look at our feature. It is the listed Legacy Lodge Sprint over the 1,200 metres. Babylon Berlin returns $3.70 favourite. Short Shorts at $5.50 and Mercurial at $8 on that third line. Let's have a look at Babylon Berlin at the trials. Aidan, what did you make of her here?
Super. She's just going, looks as though she's come back every bit as she's gone to the paddock, and well, she's been close up on a couple of railways. I'm sure that'll be the main aim for her, but I thought her trial was excellent, and she gets into a very winnable race on Saturday. Leith, your thoughts?
Yeah, she certainly, it's probably the best she's looked. I know last time after a bit of a break she was just a little bit plain in 2 of those races, and obviously she won the race last year with 59 kilos, and she gets in with 58 this year.
Yeah, she does. So she's a great chance. You can see why bookies have made her favourite. What about Short Shorts, though? Your second favourite will take you back to this runner winning at Matamata. Leith, what did you make of this trial?
Yeah, look, it's an ex-Australian trained horse from Sydney, and not only its trial, it had an exhibition gallop when the races got called off at Te Rapa, Pip, and look, she's a really nice mare, and look, I know Sam Spratt's got a high opinion of the horse, and Lindsay Sullivan gets on this week, 53 kilos. There's a little bit to like about her.
Trial was really good. Now with Mark Fraser Kempen out of Cambridge, has won 6 of 25, so all 6 of those wins coming in Australia, and just going through the record, had been competitive in Group 3 company as well. So there's enough there to say that Short Shorts can run some sort of race here. Have a look at Mercurial. Here's the Group 1 Telegraph winner from last preparation. Looks to be coming up okay. Boy, the 4th placing in what was a pretty competitive running of the Guineas Stakes was okay. Leith, you just got to respect these Group 1 winners.
Yeah, the best thing about him, he gets barrier 2, and there does look like going to be a really strong tempo in the race. I was actually at Rotorua, and he came into the birdcage, and there was a fair bit of improvement in him as well. So even though he is well beaten, but he ran fourth, I think he's got to be a good each way chance this week.
Okay, and then what about this runner? Geriatrics will take you back to Te Rapa, where was absolutely eye-catching, finishing second, coming from where he did Leith.
Yeah, look, obviously the 1400 metre race was run at a very fast tempo. Look, he ran the fastest 800, 600, 400 and 200 metre splits in the race. I know 1200 is probably the short of his best, Pip, but I think there's so much speed in the race. Being a big field, I think he's going to be running home late, and I just like the value of, geez, you're getting nearly $10 and $3.40 a place for him.
One thing is, how much of a start is he going to be giving Babylon Berlin? You know, he's never quickly away. You'd just love to see some sort of early tactical speed from him, but he gives away these massive starts and just puts so much of a job in front of him. Undoubtedly, that run was super, and he's got real quality, this horse. But whether he can be giving Babylon Berlin that sort of start, I'm a little bit dubious. So I'm with her. I'm going with the quality, and I think she can go again here. Leith, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm on Geriatrics. I think he's a great each way chance. I just feel there's so much tempo in this race. It's going to suit a back marker. Masahisa Zumi sticks with him as well, and he's got it perfectly weighted.
There you go, so a favourite and a bit of value for you in the Legacy Lodge Sprint. And don't forget too, if you are having a play with the TAB at Te Rapa, there's an odds surge available right across the program. So get involved. The first race from there on your big Saturday, 12:25. It is Championship Day at Flemington to round up what has been a great Melbourne Cup carnival. So Aidan, are we getting similar track conditions to what we saw on Tuesday?
Oh, it sounds like it. By all accounts, we've got another, it's been a warm week, but they are putting decent amounts of water on this track, and it's just an amazing facility, isn't it? It always plays so well. So we're looking at another good 4 as we end Melbourne Cup week, Pip.
Yeah, we certainly do, but what a way to end it as we take a look at the first race number 6 on the program here, the Champions Sprint. Bella Nipotina, 390 favourite from Giga Kick at 480, and then Overpass at that $5 mark. Let's take you back to the Everest, because what a finish here, what a mare Bella Nipotina is, Aidan, and she was very good this day.
Absolutely. This was on soft 5 rain-affected track conditions, but then she's come out since and won the Russell Balding on a good track. There's just no chinks in her armour. I think she's the second highest earner in Australian racing history, and behind Winks now, going ahead of horses like Nature Strip. It's Giga Kick who does make it really interesting towards the inside, and Sunshine in Paris, James McDonald, a key booking, hitting the line out wider. How does the Everest form come into this Champion Sprint, Lee?
Yeah, I think it's a great form race. Like you said, Giga Kick was really good. It's great to see him back to his best as well. And Bella Nipotina, she's, like you said, she's an iron horse. Look, you'll see her winning here, and Craig Williams actually dropped his whip, but he didn't need it. Great training effort by Kira Marsh. Like, she's been to every dance. She's been to Perth, she's been to Ascot, she's been to Brisbane. She's been up for such a long time, but she's just getting better.
Yeah, absolutely she is. And we were kind of close to people watching it at Flemington on Saturday, watching on the big screen, and just hearing the roar for her. She's such a popular horse, and she won this really nicely. As we said, Sunshine in Paris going okay. It was a nice run into second, and just love that James McDonald booking for this race. So got to say, yeah, the Everest form should stack up okay. However, one who was running very similar times on the same day as Bella Nipotina was this horse, Overpass. I don't think there was anything between them time-wise, and we know he travels so well. He was really good in the Sydney Stakes, Leith, and I think he might be the one to cause the boil over here. I really like Overpass.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Barrier 2, where they end up. Do they stay to the inside, come to the middle as well? And Josh Parr's got a great record with this horse as well, and he's won on the track. He's had 2 starts for a win as well. So Overpass, he's certainly underrated, Aidan, and it'd be great to see Bjorn Baker with a bit of a party atmosphere for Champions Day.
Yeah, well, don't we love to see a good old Bjorn Baker celebration? But what about this little mare, Bellatrix Star? I mean, how good was she, Aidan, in the Coolmore?
She was phenomenal. This was some sort of run. Obviously, Switzerland very good in taking out the Coolmore Stud Stakes, but she goes back to the inside and she surges home. Runs the quickest last 1,000 of the race. I know it's a 1,200 metre affair, but Switzerland very good, and she's run all the second quickest 8, 6, 4 and 2. Very, very impressive effort from one who I don't know if I'd expected her to be doing this type of thing in Australia, Lee. No,
if you sort of said to someone in New Zealand she's going to run second in the Coolmore last year as a 2-year-old, they would have said there was something wrong with you. So, look, a great training effort by Mark Walker and this team there, Bill Gleeson, and she was a fraction unlucky. Look, she was never going to beat Switzerland, but she was just needed a gap a little bit early. She probably would have been half a length to a length closer as well.
Yeah, I don't think she would have beaten Switzerland. I think he had a little bit of an attack. There was some sort of win from one of the star colts in Australia at the moment. In the end, I'm going to go with Overpass. I'm going to stick with obviously a horse who's won a couple of quackers and got a very good record. I think will be the pace in the race. You just put your faith in Josh Parr, who will be here on the last day of New Zealand Cup Week too, Leith.
Yeah, he's on Captured by Love, so it's good to see him back. He was here a couple of years ago. Look, I'm going to go to Bella Nipotina. There's just no chinks in her armour. She's just getting better. I know she's had some hard runs, but look, she's yet to win at Flemington, but I think it's going to be this week in the championship sprint.
Okay, well, now let's move on to the VRC Championship Mile, race number 7 on the program. Look at this market. Mr. Brightside, $5.50, and Tino's at that price. So is Pride of Jenny. Then you're getting out to Fangirl at $6.50 with Broadsiding at that quote, and Another Will, the only runner in single figures, at $9. Let's go back to one of the key lead-in races, the King Charles. There's a handful of them in here, Leith. Who stood out for you?
Look, I think Fangirl, I think she just... this track, she just hated it. She's a proper firm track horse, and it was a sort of a forgive run. Pride of Jenny, I just can't have her this week, Pip. She's tired, I think. The Cox Plate, they've changed jockeys, and I think Declan Bates, he's been taken off, but I think he'll be happy. He's on Another Will, and I think it's probably a better chance than Jenny this week.
I don't think he'd be happy. He's taken it very professionally and put a tweet out there as a statement tweet, but when he's been taken off the Australian Horse of the Year, who he's guided to some massive wins. I think 1,600 metres does suit her really nicely. Ben Melham takes a ride on Pride of Jenny, but yeah, this is a field of such quality and depth, you know, where do you look? These horses coming back from the 2,040 metres of the Cox Plate, so we're looking at Broadsiding, who I think ran a cracker in this Cox Plate to get into third, in a race that was dominated by two world-class horses. Broadsiding's performance was easily world-class as well. Mr. Brightside fighting like he does. But, geez, I was taken by Broadsiding here, Leith.
Yeah, obviously he gets in with 52 kilos as well, and Michael D, ex-New Zealander, gets the ride. I love Broadsiding, but just the outside gate, you know, barrier 13, where's he going to end up? I know it's at Flemington, but if he's giving those better horses too much of a head start, I just can't see him winning this week, Rod.
Geez, you've been with them all preparation, Leith. You made him a tracker right from the word go, been with them every dance, and now hopping off the bandwagon. Hopefully
I'll hop off and he'll come out and win, and he'll pay $8 or $10. But it's a very strong field, but I just can't have him this week from the draw.
Okay, well, what about Antino? Because I think it's fair to say the ride definitely helped him win this race, but how else do we stack up the four maiden?
Well, it's a Group 1. It's a Toorak handicap, and not a bad sort of field either. Yeah, the ride was obviously the big talking point of the race. Blake Shin taking the initiative to move from the back and set it up on what was a really front-run favoured day there at Caulfield. High-class New Zealand, Brad Leith, what did you make of it?
Yeah, certainly the inside was on fire. You know, was it worth 5 lengths? It was a great ride. Look, Mark Zara's on this week for Blake Shin, who's suspended. Another Will was in the race, looked a little bit disappointing. I don't know, Antino, was it a one-off?
Maybe. I suppose we're going to find out on Saturday. And then what about this mare, Steffi Magnetica? We can't forget about her. We'll take you back, of course, to the Golden Eagle. And she was desperately unlucky last time, Leith.
She should have won, Pip. No, ways about it. She just got shut out at a vital time, and she's an underrated mare. I know she gets to Flemington, she gets to a distance that she's never been over a mile. Well, she's had one start for a second. But how about the interference? It wasn't even that bad, and these jockeys got put out for a month and a $100,000 fine, the winner, and the German rider got put out for a month and a $30,000 fine. Like, was the interference that bad, Rod?
It's a $10 million race. You've got to, I guess, take the stake into account. I certainly didn't think it was that bad on Kieran Fallon's part, but yeah, they were pretty stiff penalties, and obviously Steffi Magnetica, desperately unlucky. Winner was very good, Lake Forest. So in a really tricky race, I'm going this way. I'm going broadsiding. Leith can hop off. It's time for me to hop on.
I'm going to go with my favourite mare, Steffi Magnetica. I was on her last week, and we saw what happened. Like, she's on the quick backup. Bjorn Baker, Chad Schofield on this week. She's got a beautiful gate in gate 5 where she, if you just pinch runs, I think she's a great each way chance, about 14s, and you might get $4 for a place.
Okay, there you go. Now let's move on to our last Group 1 we want to take a look at. Race number 8 on the program, the Championship Stakes over the 2,000 metres. And there she is, the Cox Plate winner, Via Sistina, at $1.75, dominating this market from a Tissue, who also comes out of a last start Group 1 win at $7.50. Let's take you back to the Cox Plate, though, where she was so dominant. We know she broke Winx's track record here at 2.8. So how do they turn the tables on it?
Oh, she broke the glass ceiling. She was outstanding, just a brilliant win. And geez, I'd been at the previous couple of Cox Plates. I wish you just can imagine the atmosphere as she goes clear and produces a performance of this quality. And then, of course, the J-Max celebrations. How do they beat her on this run, Leith?
You wouldn't think so. Maybe those 3 laps she done at Moonee Valley on Friday got her so fit for that race, but how good. I know she ran the track record, and, people were saying, this and that, but you got to take into the contents. Pride of Jenny ran the first mile at some crazy sections. The race was set up for a back marker, but she won easy in the end.
She certainly did. Well, what about a Tissue in the Group 1 Empire Rose? Of course, the same man in the saddle, James McDonald. Can she be a contender, in your opinion, Leith?
Certainly can. Look, she just loves the Flemington track pip. She's had 9 starts for 4 wins and a couple of placings. And, you talk about rides. In a Group 1, James just doesn't get it wrong. He's 9 times out of 10 in a tight finish. He comes out on top. She won with a little bit in hand too, I think, Rod?
Yeah, for sure, but I was really taken by the ride on the inside of Jamie Carr's too, and on a horse who is going pretty well too. But James McDonald urging the Go Racing raced Tissue home to a Group 1 when she won this race last year, the Champion Stakes. But when you see James McDonald shifting off her to ride another, you sort of say, well, I'm just going to go with James for this one. Another key form line is the Caulfield Cup. Now, Duke de Sessa was able to set them up in front. Denied Knowledge also very good as well. It was a race that really did favour those on speed. Buckaroo's run a pretty good race in the Melbourne Cup. I don't mind Duke de Sessa though. This was a dominant performance. Does drop back to the 2,000 metres though of the Champion Stakes and against better company, Leith.
Yeah, I can't have him on my ticket this week. Just a step up to weight for age. He's come from sort of a good sort of weight there, 52.5, and he gets in with 59 this week at weight for age. He was strong, but it was a really on sort of speed track that day as well.
Yeah, it certainly was. Well, what about this contender? He's been the massive mover in the race as well, without a fight. $16 into 9s. Of course, won last year's Melbourne Cup. How do you assess his form coming into this, Leith?
He's a superstar, this horse, Pip. Look, obviously he's had his problems injury-wise. This is last year, so if they can get him to win this, fresh up, look, I know they've set him for this race. He's a proper weight for age horse, and we saw what he done to this field. He won easy. Look, he was opened up at 16 to 1. He's into $9 now. He's a proper horse, Aidan, and look, he's acclimatised now. He's been in Australia for nearly a year and a half, and I can see him going a big race.
He can't win. Surely he can't win this. It would just be a training performance that would blow your mind if he was able to win. If he was able to beat Pegasus Stakes in this race, it surprises the heck out of me that there's that much money for him. First up since last year's Melbourne Cup, over 3,200 metres in a Group 1 2,000 metre weight for age race of this quality. He did gallop at Mornington between races last Sunday, and by all accounts he was very good. By all accounts his jump out prior to that was just absolutely first class as well, but surely he can't be winning this race. Surely he can't win this race. If he does, it would be a massive hats off to Anthony and Sam Friedman in the race. I'm going with Pegasus Stakes. I thought she was the horse to beat in the Champions Mile, and hopefully she just puts the icing on what's been an already succulent cake for Melbourne Cup week, Leith.
Well, you're doubting the Friedmans. I'm not. I'm without a fight. Look, he's a very, very good horse. Pegasus Stakes, $1.75, you can have that, but I'm happy to have him each way. And look, if you don't think they've set him for a $3 million race, Rod, I think you might be wrong this week.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope we can replay this little part next week on The Form and see who was right. Either way, catch all of the action on a massive day from Flemington with Trackside Premier this Saturday.
Let's go, girl, and Hokitika Bell has left them standing here with 100 metres to go, 3 to 4 lengths in front. Jolly Bird, Saturio and Grey Invader, latest model out wider, but Hokitika Bell has jogged in.
Off the back they come, Aldebaran, Dapper Jabbers 3 lengths away. Miss Rowdy's run through to third, but it's all Aldebaran. Let's have a look at the clock. Aldebaran's in, and it's an 1860.
Frost Fair ranged up, Subtle Power's coming after it. These are the two drawing clear, Frost Fair and Subtle Power. Frost Fair will just beat Subtle Power.
We've been having a good couple of weeks as far as our best bets go getting home, so let's try find some more. Leith, who are you with this week?
Yeah, I'm going to take to Terraniko on Sunday. Wow, this is a 2-year-old by Bivouac Carsalio. I don't know what odds we're going to get on Sunday, but he will be winning. Look, he ran the same time as Babylon Berlin, and he was having his first trial. I know Michael McNabb's on this week, but I just cannot see him getting beat.
I know we're showing it in slow motion. I'm with you as well, Leith. We'd obviously gone through all the races through the weekend and come up on the same horse. No real surprise though on the quality of that trial. Was by far the quickest 2-year-old heat, and goes to Terraniko on debut with Michael McNabb going down chiefly to ride this horse. So yeah, very hard to beat for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I better get on now with you both doubling up as your best bet. I'm going to stick with my greyhounds. They've been good to me in the last couple of weeks. So Big Time Lime on Friday night out of Hattrick Raceway. She downgrades. She's got a wide draw, but I think she can take out the penultimate on the program. Here's a summary. Let's see what Rozzo's with. He's with Thrilling Carlos in race number 2 at the same meeting. Chase Me for the Whale at Alexandra Park on Friday night. And Pokawa, Bevan is throwing out our horse again as the best bet. So hopefully can get home on Sunday. And that does complete the form again for another week. Thanks to Aidan and Leith. Looking forward to your coverage from Riccarton. To everyone else, enjoy the weekend. What races we've got to look forward to. We'll see you back next week.